Pick up that trash with your bare hands, girl. That's what we pay you people for. Bradford Wellington III kicked the crumpled water bottle toward Zara Johnson's polished black shoes. The 23-year-old heir smirked as guests in the Meridian Hotel's marble lobby turned to stare. His two friends snickered behind Italian leather jackets. Zara bent slowly, maintaining eye contact as she retrieved the bottle. Her uniform was pristine, pressed sharp as her composure. Bradford pulled out his phone, already recording. "Look at this," he announced to his camera. "Perfect training right here." He tossed a crumpled $20 bill at her feet. It landed beside her designer handbag, barely visible beneath her apron, but there nonetheless. A small detail, an important one. Zara straightened, bottle in hand, dignity intact. "Thank you, Mr. Wellington." Her voice carried something Bradford missed entirely, something that would matter in exactly 47 minutes. Have you ever watched someone's arrogance blind them to the very person who held their destruction in their hands? The crystal chandelier above caught Bradford's movements as he circled Zara like a predator sizing up prey. His phone remained raised, Instagram Live already pulling in viewers. 47 minutes, he said to his camera, checking his Patek Philippe. Just enough time before Dad's boring board meeting. The number meant nothing to his audience, everything to the woman standing silently before him. Bradford's followers climbed, 200, 500, 800 viewers watching live. Comments flooded the screen faster than he could read them. "This is sick, bro. She's so patient. Wellington's really flexing. Someone call hotel security. Now shine these." Bradford lifted his foot, pointing to his $3,000 Louboutin sneakers. "And address me properly." Zara's phone buzzed against her hip. Then again, she ignored it completely. "I understand completely, Mr. Wellington." "Not Mr. Wellington." Bradford's voice hardened. "Master Bradford, say it." The lobby fell silent except for the soft jazz floating from hidden speakers. Two elderly women near the concierge desk exchanged horrified glances. A businessman lowered his newspaper, frowning. From across the marble expanse, Keisha Williams, lifestyle blogger with 40,000 Twitter followers, looked up from her laptop. Her fingers found her phone immediately. Thread. "What I'm witnessing at the Meridian Hotel right now." Bradford extended his foot closer to Zara's face. "I'm waiting." "Master Bradford." The words left Zara's lips without emotion, professional as ordering coffee. A first-class boarding pass slipped from her uniform pocket, fluttering to the polished floor. Bradford kicked it away before she could retrieve it. "That's better." He grinned at his phone screen. 1,500 viewers now. You're famous, girl." The hotel's general manager, Derek Hoffman, emerged from behind the front desk. His approach was measured, diplomatic, the walk of a man who'd spent 20 years keeping powerful guests happy. "Mr. Wellington." Derek's smile was perfectly trained. "Is everything satisfactory?" "Actually, no." Bradford gestured at Zara. "Your staff needs better training. Watch this." He opened his wallet, pulling out a crisp $100 bill. "Hold it high." "Bark like a dog and it's yours." The comment section exploded. Keisha's Twitter thread hit 50 retweets in 30 seconds. 3 more phones emerged from designer handbags, cameras trained on the unfolding scene. Zara's phone vibrated again, the preview of a text message briefly visible. Emergency board meeting moved up. She declined the call without looking. "I'm not understanding the request, Master Bradford." "Bark. Like a dog." His voice rose with each word. "Or I'll have you fired right now." Derek shifted uncomfortably but said nothing. The businessman folded his newspaper entirely, openly staring now. A young couple by the elevator pulled out their phones. Bradford's live stream counter hit 2,000 viewers. The hotel's afternoon calm shattered completely. "Everyone's watching," he announced to the growing crowd. "Show them what you really are." Zara's hands remained folded in front of her, posture perfect despite the humiliation. A gold VIP hotel keycard caught light briefly in her uniform pocket, there and gone before anyone could process it. I apologize if my service hasn't met expectations. Service? Bradford laughed harshly. You people don't provide service. You exist to make real people comfortable. Keisha's thread gained momentum. Thread 412. The young man just used you people. This is being live-streamed to thousands. I have a video. The notification sounds from multiple phones created a digital symphony of outrage. Screenshots captured, videos shared, hashtags born. #Wellington abuse began trending in Manhattan. Bradford basked in the attention, unaware his family's stock price had just begun its first microscopic dip. Algorithmic trading systems detecting negative sentiment, making their first tiny adjustments. 39 minutes, he announced to his camera. Think we can break 3,000 viewers? Zara checked her own phone. 47 missed calls, 12 urgent text messages. The most recent from William Wellington himself. Where are you? The board is asking. She slid the phone away, expression unchanged. Is there anything else, Master Bradford? The question seemed genuine, professional, as if she were asking about extra towels or room service. Bradford's friends exchanged glances, even though they seemed uncomfortable now. Yeah, there's something else. His smile turned cruel. Get on your knees. The marble floor reflected overhead lights like a mirror. Zara looked down at it, then back at Bradford. Around them, the crowd held its collective breath. I'm sorry? You heard me. Knees. Now. Security cameras mounted in every corner recorded everything. The hotel's digital surveillance system captured audio, video, timestamps. Evidence that would matter very soon. Keisha Williams hit record on her phone's camera. Her live stream began pulling viewers from Bradford's, people sharing links, spreading awareness. This is happening right now at the Meridian Hotel in Manhattan. Derek finally stepped forward. Perhaps we should... Should what? Bradford spun on him. I'm Bradford Wellington. My family owns 12% of this hotel chain. Are you telling me what I should do? The number was accurate. Public record. But Bradford had no idea what else was public record. What other ownership stakes existed? Who else held power in the very building where he was performing his cruelty? 28 minutes until the board meeting. 28 minutes until everything changed. Bradford's live stream counter climbed past 3,000 viewers as Zara remained standing, hands clasped, refusing his demand to kneel. The refusal sent him into overdrive. Security! He barked across the lobby. Get security up here now! Derek's radio crackled to life. Within 90 seconds, 3 uniformed guards emerged from the service elevator. Their leader, Marcus Rivera, had worked hotel security for 15 years. He'd seen entitled guests before, but nothing quite like this. What seems to be the problem, Mr. Wellington? This employee is being insubordinate. I want her fired, now. Marcus glanced at Zara, taking in her perfect posture, her calm expression. Something felt off about the entire scene, but Bradford Wellington's name carried weight. Ma'am, I'll need to see your employee identification. Zara reached into her uniform pocket. The motion revealed her phone screen briefly. 63 missed calls, the preview of another urgent text. Board meeting cannot proceed without... She handed over a temporary hotel ID badge. Marcus examined it, frowning. This is a 1-week contractor pass. Exactly. Bradford stepped closer to his camera. Temporary help. Replaceable. Keisha Williams typed furiously on her laptop, her Twitter thread gaining momentum by the minute. Thread, update 8:15. Hotel security now involved. The young woman has maintained perfect composure for 20-plus minutes of harassment. This is a masterclass in dignity under pressure. Her follower count jumped as major accounts began retweeting. The story was spreading beyond Manhattan, beyond New York entirely. Bradford's Instagram Live pulled in viewers from across the country. Comments flooded in faster than the app could display them. Someone needs to stop this. This is getting national attention. Wellington Industries stock is dropping. Call the police. She's handling this like a boss. The last comment made Bradford pause. He didn't like the implication. You know what? Let's make this interesting. He addressed his camera directly. 5,000 viewers and I'll have her arrested for trespassing. Marcus shifted uncomfortably. Sir, she has a valid work authorization. From who? Who authorized a one-week contractor in my family's hotel? The question hung in the air. Derek consulted his tablet, scrolling through staffing schedules. His face grew puzzled. The authorization came from the corporate, high-level clearance. What level? Board level, sir. Bradford's confidence flickered for just a moment. Then he laughed it off. Dad probably approved some diversity initiative. Doesn't matter. But something did matter. The emergency text messages. The board-level authorization. The way Zara stood perfectly still while chaos erupted around her. Marcus received a call on his radio. He stepped aside, speaking quietly into his earpiece. When he returned, his demeanor had shifted slightly. Mr. Wellington, perhaps we should resolve this privately. Privately? Bradford gestured to his phone. We're at 5,200 viewers. This is going viral. Everyone needs to see how real power works. The numbers were accurate. Hashtag Wellington abuse was trending in 12 cities now. Financial news algorithms began picking up the story, correlating it with Wellington Industries' stock movements. Stock price, down 1.8% in 30 minutes. Zara's phone buzzed again. This time she glanced at it. The caller ID read simply, William Wellington, Chairman. She declined the call. Bradford caught the motion. Put that phone away. Staff aren't allowed personal devices during service. Of course, Master Bradford. Her compliance only fueled his ego. He turned back to his live stream. See how easy that was? Respect and hierarchy. That's how the world actually works. But the world was working in ways Bradford couldn't see. Behind the scenes, crisis management teams were assembling. PR firms were being activated. Legal departments were reviewing liability exposure. The Wellington Industries Board of Directors was receiving emergency notifications about their family heir's viral meltdown. Marcus tried once more. Sir, maybe we should... Should what? You work for me. My family pays your salary. The statement was technically true. Wellington Industries held significant stakes in the hotel chain. But ownership structures were complex things, full of subsidiary companies and silent partners Bradford had never bothered to understand. A new presence entered the lobby. James Brooks, the hotel's head of guest relations, approached with the measured stride of someone handling a crisis. He'd been watching the security feeds from his office. Mr. Wellington, I understand there's been a misunderstanding. No misunderstanding. Bradford kept filming. Just a lesson in how things work. James glanced at Zara, who met his eyes with perfect professionalism. Something passed between them, a look of recognition that Bradford missed entirely. Perhaps Ms. Johnson could take a break while we sort this out? The use of her last name made Bradford pause. How do you know her name? All our staff are properly documented, sir. But James's tone carried weight that suggested more than simple documentation. Hotel management didn't typically know temporary contractors by name. Bradford's viewer count hit 6,000. The comment section was becoming impossible to read, scrolling by too fast to follow. Screenshots were being shared on every platform. TikTok videos were already appearing with titles like Billionaire's son goes insane on hotel worker and This is what privilege looks like. The story was escaping Bradford's control, spreading through digital networks he couldn't contain or direct. Keisha's thread reached viral status. Thread update 12:18. This has been going on for 35+ minutes. The woman's composure is inhuman. There's something else happening here that we're not seeing. #Wellington abuse. Her followers had grown by 3,000 in real time. Major news accounts were sliding into her DMs, requesting permission to use her footage. 22 minutes until the board meeting. Zara checked her phone once more. The message preview made her pause. Authorization confirmed. Proceed when ready. She looked up to find Bradford staring at her. I said put that away. My apologies. Apologies aren't enough anymore. Bradford's voice hardened. Marcus, I want her removed from the property. Now. Sir, I'll need to follow proper protocols. Protocols? Bradford laughed harshly. I am the protocol. Do you understand who you're talking to? The question echoed through the marble lobby. Guests had stopped pretending not to watch. A crowd of 15 people openly stared now, some recording their own videos. Multiple live streams were running simultaneously. The story was being documented from every angle. Marcus spoke into his radio again. This time his conversation lasted longer. When he finished, his expression was carefully neutral. Sir, I've been instructed to handle this matter with discretion. Discretion? We're past discretion. Bradford gestured wildly at his phone. 7,000 people are watching this. Make her leave. Now. But Zara wasn't leaving. She stood exactly where she'd been standing for the past 40 minutes, hands folded, dignity intact despite everything thrown at her. Something about her stillness was beginning to unnerve even Bradford's friends. Dude, one of them whispered, maybe we should just go. Bradford whipped around. Go? We're making history here. He was right about that. They were making history, just not the kind he thought. Bradford's phone screen glowed with 7,200 viewers when Zara's device rang again. This time, she didn't decline it. Excuse me, she said quietly, lifting the phone to her ear. Don't you dare, Bradford started. Yes, Zara spoke into the phone, her voice transforming. I accept the position. The lobby fell silent. Even the jazz music seemed to pause. Bradford stared at her, confusion replacing arrogance. What position? Hang up that phone right now. Zara continued speaking, her tone shifting from submissive hotel worker to something else entirely. Something that made Marcus Rivera straighten unconsciously. The assessment is complete. Yes, I have sufficient documentation. 45 minutes of comprehensive footage should be adequate for the board presentation. She lowered the phone, meeting Bradford's eyes directly for the first time. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Wellington. My cooperation? What the hell are you talking about? Zara reached behind her neck, unclasping something. The hotel uniform fell away like a costume, revealing a perfectly tailored charcoal business suit underneath. Her hair, previously pinned in a simple style, was suddenly loose and professional. She was no longer a hotel worker. The transformation was so complete that several onlookers gasped audibly. Bradford's live stream exploded with confused comments. Wait, what just happened? Did she just change clothes? This has to be fake. What is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, Zara addressed the crowd, her voice carrying the authority of someone accustomed to boardrooms, not housekeeping. My name is Zara Johnson. As of 3 minutes ago, I am the Chief Executive Officer of Wellington Industries. The words hit Bradford like physical blows. That's impossible. You're the help. You're nobody. Zara pulled an iPad from what had appeared to be a simple black purse. The device powered on, displaying an official document. She turned it toward Bradford. Wellington Industries Board Resolution 2024A. Emergency CEO appointment. Effective immediately upon acceptance. Signed by 8 of 9 board members. Bradford grabbed the tablet, scanning frantically. The document was real, legal, binding. The 9th signature line, his father's, was clearly marked, William Wellington, approved. This is a joke, some kind of prank. I assure you it's not. Zara's voice carried quiet power. The board has been evaluating my candidacy for 6 months. This week was my final assessment. James Brooks stepped forward, no longer deferential. Ms. Johnson, on behalf of the Meridian staff, congratulations on your appointment. The pieces clicked into place. The board-level authorization. James knows her name. The VIP key card. The emergency phone calls. Bradford's friends backed away slowly, recognizing the shift in power dynamics. No. Bradford shook his head violently. No, this isn't happening. I'm calling my father right now. He speed-dialed, putting the call on speaker for his live stream audience. Dad, there's some woman here claiming to be CEO of our company. She's Bradford. William Wellington's voice cut through the phone with steel. What have you done? What have I done? Nothing. I was just having some fun with the hotel staff and this crazy person. Stop talking, right now. The line went quiet except for background noise, suggesting William was in a meeting. Ms. Johnson, William's voice returned. The board is assembled. Are you prepared to proceed? Zara took the phone from Bradford's stunned grip. Yes, Mr. Chairman. The cultural assessment is complete. I have 47 minutes of comprehensive documentation. Excellent. Welcome to Wellington Industries, CEO Johnson. The call ended. Bradford stared at the silent phone in his hand. Around him, the lobby buzzed with the electricity of people realizing they'd witnessed something historic. Keisha Williams typed furiously, "Breaking. A woman subjected to 45-plus minutes of racist harassment just revealed she's the new CEO of the company owned by her harasser's family. This is the most incredible plot twist I've ever witnessed live." Her thread was being retweeted thousands of times per minute. Bradford's live stream viewer count hit 9,000, but the comments had shifted completely. Oh my God, she's the new CEO. Bradford, you're screwed. This is the best karma ever. Someone screen record everything. Marcus Rivera received another radio call. This time, when he finished, he approached Bradford directly. Sir, I'm going to need you to leave the premises. Leave? I'm Bradford Wellington. My family... Your family just appointed a new CEO. She's standing right here. The security guard's tone had completely changed. He was no longer addressing the hotel owner's son. He was addressing someone who had just publicly humiliated his new boss. Zara consulted her tablet, scrolling through real-time data. Interesting. Wellington Industries stock has dropped 2.4% in the last hour. That represents approximately $18 million in market value. All tied to hashtag mentions of your name, Bradford. She turned the screen toward him. Financial charts, social media analytics, news algorithm tracking, all painting a picture of a PR disaster in real time. How is that possible? Modern algorithmic trading responds to sentiment analysis. Your live stream has been shared 47,000 times in the past hour. The negative sentiment is triggering automated sell-offs. Bradford grabbed for his phone, trying to end the live stream, but it was too late. Screenshots were everywhere. Downloaded videos were spreading across every platform. The board tasked me with evaluating Wellington Industries' corporate culture, Zara continued. Specifically, how leadership treats employees and service workers. Your performance has been illuminating. She gestured to the crowd of witnesses, the security cameras, the phones still recording. 47 minutes of documented harassment, racism, and abuse of power, all self-recorded and broadcast by you personally to 9,000 witnesses. Derek, the hotel manager, stepped forward hesitantly. Ms. Johnson, I apologize for any failure in our response. No apology necessary, Derek. Your staff performed exactly as trained. This situation required a specific response, one that only I could provide. Bradford's mind raced, finally understanding the scope of what had happened. You set me up. This was all planned. I completed a standard corporate culture assessment. You chose how to respond to someone you perceived as powerless. Those choices are entirely yours. Zara pulled out her phone, opening the camera app. Would you like to make a statement to Wellington Industries shareholders? Explain your behavior to the people whose retirement funds you've just impacted? No, this is insane. Actually, it's business. And Bradford? She stepped closer, her voice dropping to a level only he could hear. I've seen your trust fund documents. Section 12, subsection 4, the moral character clause. Any behavior detrimental to family reputation or company interests results in immediate forfeiture of all benefits. Bradford's face went white. Today's live stream qualifies. Your $12 million annual allowance is under review as of 1 hour ago. The mathematical precision of her revenge was breathtaking. She had let him destroy himself completely, publicly, irreversibly. "The board is waiting for my report," Zara announced to the lobby. "I believe I have everything I need." She began walking toward the elevator, then paused. "Oh, and Bradford? When you speak to the media, and you will, remember that everything you say is being documented. Choose your words carefully." The elevator doors closed, leaving Bradford standing in a lobby full of strangers, his world completely upended. His live stream was still running. 9,400 viewers watched his humiliation in real time. For the first time in his life, Bradford Wellington III was powerless, and everyone was watching. Marcus Rivera's radio crackled again. This time the message was brief but clear. "All Wellington Industries security protocols are now under CEO Johnson's authority." Bradford watched his last source of institutional power evaporate. "This can't be legal," he said desperately. "There has to be a process, board approval, shareholder votes." "Emergency appointments are permitted under company bylaws," Zara explained patiently. Section 3.2.7. Your father wrote those bylaws in 1987. She showed him another document on her tablet. Legal text, dense and official. "In cases of immediate need, the board may appoint interim leadership with a simple majority. 8 votes were more than sufficient." Bradford's phone kept buzzing with notifications. His Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, every platform exploding with shares and comments. His name was trending nationally now. Had Bradford Wellington, had our Wellington Industries, CEO reveal, our Karma IRL. But trending for all the wrong reasons. "The beautiful thing about live documentation," Zara continued, "is that it's impossible to deny or reframe. You've created a permanent record of exactly who you are." She gestured to Keisha Williams, still typing at her laptop. "Keisha's thread has been viewed 2.3 million times. Every major news outlet is requesting interviews. CNN, MSNBC, Fox Business, they're all calling." Bradford's hands shook as he tried to process the magnitude of his situation. "What do you want? Money? A settlement? What's this really about?" Zara's expression remained professionally neutral. "This is about competence, Bradford. The board needed to know if Wellington Industries was being led by people worthy of stakeholder trust." She pulled up another screen on her tablet. Corporate performance metrics, employee satisfaction surveys, quarterly projections. "The company has underperformed for 18 months. Employee morale is at historic lows. Your father's generation built something remarkable, but leadership transitions require careful evaluation." The business lecture was devastating in its calm professionalism. "I was hired to assess whether the next generation of Wellingtons could maintain the company's reputation and values." Bradford looked around the lobby. Every face stared back with a mixture of fascination and disgust. "And?" "The assessment is complete." James Brooks approached with a tablet of his own. "Ms. Johnson, we have legal teams requesting statements. How would you like to proceed?" "Standard protocol, full transparency, complete documentation. This story serves as a case study in corporate accountability." Bradford finally understood that this wasn't just about him. It was about something much larger. "You're going to destroy my entire family." "I'm going to transform your family's company into something worthy of its employees and shareholders." Zara's phone buzzed with a text message. She glanced at it and smiled, the first genuine emotion she'd shown in an hour. "The stock price just stabilized. Investor confidence is returning." She turned to address the crowd directly. "Ladies and gentlemen, Thank you for bearing witness to this demonstration. What you've seen today illustrates why corporate culture matters, why character matters, and why accountability matters. Her voice carried to every corner of the lobby. Real leadership isn't about power over others. It's about responsibility to others. Bradford tried one last desperate play. I'll sue. Harassment, entrapment, fraud, something. You can't do this to me. Zara's smile was patient, almost pitying. Bradford, everything that happened here was your choice. I simply created an opportunity for you to reveal who you truly are. She gestured to his phone, still broadcasting live. You're welcome to pursue legal action, but remember, you documented everything yourself. Every word, every gesture, every moment of cruelty. The live stream viewer count had reached 12,000. Your legal team will have an interesting challenge explaining how you were victimized by standing silently while you chose to humiliate someone you believed was powerless. Bradford's phone finally went dark as his Instagram account was overwhelmed by reports and flags, but the damage was permanent. Screenshots lived forever. The board meeting begins in 18 minutes, Zara announced. I have a company to run. She walked toward the elevator with the measured confidence of someone who had just executed the most public corporate takeover in recent memory. Bradford stood alone in the marble lobby, surrounded by strangers. His empire collapsed around him. The real-life story of a single moment of cruelty that changed everything. The Wellington Industries boardroom occupied the 42nd floor of the Manhattan Tower, its floor-to-ceiling windows offering a commanding view of the city below. At 3:47 p.m., 8 board members sat around a mahogany table worth more than most people's homes. Zara entered precisely on time, tablet in hand, her transformation from hotel worker to corporate executive now complete. Behind her, a legal aide wheeled in a cart of documentation. Good afternoon, she addressed the room with quiet authority. Thank you for your confidence in my appointment. William Wellington sat at the head of the table, his face grave. The other board members, veteran executives, major shareholders, independent directors, watched with keen interest. Ms. Johnson, William began, we understand the cultural assessment is complete. Please proceed with your findings. Zara activated the room's presentation system. The first slide appeared. Wellington Industries Cultural Assessment, Executive Summary. Over the past week, I conducted a comprehensive evaluation of company culture across 3 divisions. Today's final assessment focused on leadership character under pressure. She clicked to the next slide. A screenshot from Bradford's live stream, frozen at the moment he demanded she kneel. This image was broadcast live to over 12,000 viewers. It represents 47 minutes of documented harassment captured in real time by the subject himself. Board member Sarah Monroe leaned forward. How widespread was the social media impact? The hashtag Wellington Abuse reached 4.7 million impressions within 2 hours. Wellington Industries stock dropped 3.1% in the same time frame, representing 47 million in market capitalization. Zara displayed a real-time stock chart, the decline clearly visible. Algorithmic trading systems responded to negative sentiment analysis. We documented 17,000 social media posts containing our company name, with 89% expressing negative sentiment. The numbers were devastating in their precision. For context, Zara continued, this represents the fastest reputation damage in company history. Previous PR incidents took weeks to reach similar impact levels. William's jaw tightened. Show us the full documentation. Zara played selected clips from the incident. The boardroom watched in silence as Bradford's voice echoed through premium speakers. Pick up that trash with your bare hands, girl. That's what we pay you people for. Board member Michael Rodriguez removed his glasses, cleaning them slowly. How many witnesses? Physical witnesses, 37 hotel guests and staff. Digital witnesses, over 12,000 live stream viewers, plus secondary sharing reaching approximately 2.3 million people. She displayed social media analytics, engagement metrics, viral spread patterns. The incident generated more negative publicity than our last 3 PR crises combined. Independent director Patricia Williams spoke up. What's the legal exposure? Harassment, discrimination, public humiliation, all documented by the perpetrator himself. Our legal team projects defense costs between $2 and $4 million if lawsuits proceed. Zara clicked to financial projections. More concerning is reputational damage. Client confidence surveys show immediate impact. 3 major contracts are under review. The slides continued. Customer sentiment analysis, employee morale surveys, competitor responses. Bradford's behavior reflects systemic cultural issues within the Wellington family leadership structure. This wasn't an isolated incident. It's representative of an attitude that's been damaging company performance for months. William finally spoke. What are your recommendations? Complete leadership restructuring, immediate implementation of comprehensive anti-harassment policies, third-party cultural auditing, and consequences for today's behavior that demonstrate genuine corporate accountability. Zara opened a new document on her tablet. I've prepared a formal response plan. Bradford will be suspended from all company positions effective immediately. His trust fund access will be frozen pending completion of a mandatory rehabilitation program. She read from the legal document. Trust Fund Article 12, Section 4. Any behavior detrimental to company reputation or shareholder interests constitutes grounds for benefit suspension. Today's live stream clearly qualifies under this provision. Board member James Foster asked, what about his inheritance? Conditional reinstatement after 1 year, contingent on completion of sensitivity training, community service, and public accountability measures. Zara displayed another slide. Proposed rehabilitation requirements. 200 hours of community service in the hospitality or service industries. Mandatory counseling for entitlement and bias issues. Public apology and educational campaign about workplace respect. These aren't punitive measures, she emphasized. They're corrective measures designed to demonstrate genuine change. William studied the documentation. The trust fund represents $12 million annually. Yes, plus his company positions, which provide an additional $3.2 million in compensation and benefits. Total financial impact? $15.2 million in annual support, suspended indefinitely. The boardroom fell silent as members absorbed the magnitude of consequences Bradford faced. Sarah Monroe reviewed her notes. What about immediate corporate response? Zara had anticipated this question. Full transparency. We release a statement acknowledging the incident, detailing our response, and outlining preventive measures. She displayed a draft press release. Wellington Industries announces leadership changes following cultural assessment. We frame this as proactive corporate responsibility, not reactive damage control. The key message, Wellington Industries holds all leadership, including family members, to the highest ethical standards. Board member Elizabeth Torres nodded approvingly. How do we handle media requests? Complete accessibility. I'll personally conduct interviews with major outlets. The story becomes about corporate accountability, not family dysfunction. Zara clicked to her final slide. Long-term cultural transformation plan. New employee protection protocols, anonymous reporting systems, quarterly bias training, external cultural audits, zero-tolerance harassment policies. Timeline for implementation? 30 days for policy development, 60 days for full deployment, quarterly assessments thereafter. William reviewed the financial projections. Cost estimate? Initial investment, $2.8 million. Annual ongoing costs, $1.4 million. Compare that to potential lawsuit settlements and continued reputation damage. The business case was compelling. Proactive cultural change costs far less than reactive damage control. There's one additional factor, Zara added. Employee response has been overwhelmingly positive. Word of today's incident has spread internally. Staff are applauding corporate accountability. She showed internal survey results. 94% employee approval for leadership consequences. Our workforce wants to work for a company that stands up for dignity and respect. Today's response sends that message clearly. Michael Rodriguez asked the crucial question. What about Bradford's reaction? He's retained legal counsel, but his position is indefensible. He documented his own misconduct, broadcast it publicly, and created permanent evidence. Zara's voice remained professionally neutral. Any legal challenge he mounts will only generate additional negative publicity. His best option is accepting accountability and demonstrating genuine change. William looked around the table. Board discussion? Sarah Monroe spoke first. The cultural assessment was illuminating. Ms. Johnson's recommendations are comprehensive and proportionate. James Foster agreed. The financial analysis is sound. Proactive response minimizes long-term damage. One by one, board members expressed support for Zara's proposals. Patricia Williams summarized the consensus. We have clear documentation of unacceptable behavior, comprehensive corrective measures, and strong employee support for accountability. The choice is obvious. William called for the formal vote. All in favor of implementing CEO Johnson's recommendations in full? 8 hands rose unanimously. Motion carried. Ms. Johnson, proceed with implementation. Zara closed her tablet, the corporate showdown complete. Thank you for your confidence. Wellington Industries will emerge from this stronger and more principled. She paused at the boardroom door. One final note. Today's incident wasn't just about Bradford's behavior, it was about our collective response to injustice. We chose accountability over loyalty, principles over profit, dignity over dynasty. That choice defines who we are as a company. The boardroom door closed behind her, leaving 8 executives to contemplate how a single moment of cruelty had transformed their entire organization. Bradford's empire hadn't just collapsed. It had been systematically dismantled by the woman he'd tried to humiliate. At 11:47 p.m. that same evening, Bradford Wellington III sat in his penthouse apartment, staring at a blank video camera. His hands shook as he pressed record. My name is Bradford Wellington. Earlier today, I publicly humiliated a black woman who I believed was a hotel employee. I was wrong in every possible way. The video would be posted across all his social media platforms. The same channels that had broadcast his cruelty now carried his accountability. I displayed racism, entitlement, and cruelty that has no excuse. I hurt someone who deserved respect, not humiliation. I damaged my family's company and betrayed the trust of thousands of employees. His voice cracked slightly. The arrogance was gone, replaced by something that looked like genuine remorse. I'm entering a rehabilitation program to address my behavior and attitudes. I'll be serving 200 hours of community service in hospitality positions, where I hope to understand the dignity of service work. The video continued for 4 minutes. No excuses, no justifications, just acknowledgement and commitment to change. Within 24 hours, it reached 3.2 million views. Meanwhile, Zara worked through the night implementing her transformation plan. The first policy changes went into effect at 6:00 a.m. the following day. Every Wellington Industries employee received an email titled, Dignity at Work, Our New Standard. The policy was comprehensive: 0 tolerance for harassment based on race, gender, position, or perceived status. Anonymous reporting through a secure app, immediate investigation protocols, protection for whistleblowers. But policy was just the beginning. By the end of the week, Zara had installed monitoring systems that tracked workplace interactions, sentiment analysis of employee communications, and real-time feedback mechanisms. The Wellington Respect Initiative became the most comprehensive workplace dignity program in corporate America. 3 weeks later, the results were measurable. Employee satisfaction surveys showed a 47% improvement in workplace culture ratings. Voluntary turnover dropped by 23%. Productivity metrics increased across all divisions. More importantly, the stories changed. Maria Santos, a janitor at the corporate headquarters, reported her first harassment-free month in 3 years. David Kim, a junior analyst, described newfound confidence in speaking up during meetings. The transformation rippled through every level of the organization. Zara established the Service Excellence Recognition Program, highlighting employees in hospitality, maintenance, and support roles. Monthly celebrations, bonus structures, career advancement paths. Suddenly, service work carried dignity and opportunity. Bradford's rehabilitation became equally systematic. His first week of community service placed him in the kitchen of a homeless shelter, washing dishes and serving meals. The work was humbling, necessary, and transformative. "I never understood," he confided to his counselor during mandatory therapy sessions. "I thought service meant servitude. I didn't realize it meant humanity." The psychological evaluation revealed deep-seated entitlement issues, inherited biases, and emotional immaturity. But it also showed capacity for change. Month by month, Bradford's public statements reflected genuine growth. He spoke at diversity conferences, participated in anti-bias training programs, and funded scholarship programs for service workers pursuing education. The media documented his transformation as closely as they had his downfall. Wellington Industries stock not only recovered, but reached new highs. The company's reputation for ethical leadership attracted top talent, loyal customers, and socially conscious investors. Corporate responsibility became profitable. Keisha Williams, the blogger who had documented the original incident, was hired as Wellington's Director of Social Impact. Her first initiative, the Hidden Leadership Program, identifying exceptional employees in unexpected positions. "Power isn't about position," she wrote in her first company newsletter. "It's about character. We're committed to recognizing character wherever we find it." The Meridian Hotel implemented similar policies across its entire chain. Marcus Rivera was promoted to head of ethical security practices, developing training programs that balanced guest service with employee protection. James Brooks launched the Every Voice Matters initiative, ensuring that all hotel staff, regardless of position, had direct access to management and corporate leadership. 6 months after the incident, Harvard Business School requested permission to develop a case study. The Wellington transformation became required reading in corporate ethics courses. The case study highlighted a crucial principle: authentic leadership emerges through testing, not titles. Ms. Johnson's approach demonstrated that true power comes from lifting others up, not putting them down, Professor Margaret Thompson wrote in the case study introduction. The incident revealed character in all participants, but only one person chose to respond with dignity. Bradford's trust fund remained frozen, but he had stopped asking about it. His community service had evolved into a full-time commitment to social justice work. "Money can't buy respect," he reflected in a year-end interview. "But earning respect is worth more than any inheritance." The transformation wasn't just corporate. It was personal. Bradford had discovered purpose beyond privilege. Zara's leadership style became a model for conscious capitalism. She spoke at conferences worldwide, sharing the Wellington approach to cultural transformation. "Systemic change requires systematic commitment," she told audiences. "You can't solve centuries of inequality with a single policy memo. But you can start with a single moment of accountability." The touching stories that emerged from Wellington Industries filled social media with positivity. Employees shared videos of recognition ceremonies, advancement celebrations, and community service projects. Hashtag Wellington Way became a hashtag associated with workplace dignity and corporate responsibility. The real-life stories of transformation proved that companies could change, leaders could grow, and dignity could be restored. One moment of documented cruelty had sparked a movement of documented compassion. The empire hadn't just been rebuilt, it had been reborn. 1 year later, Zara Johnson stood before the United Nations Global Compact Summit, addressing leaders from Fortune 500 companies worldwide. Her presentation, "From Crisis to Character: How Accountability Transforms Organizations," The question isn't whether your company will face a moment of truth, she told the audience. The question is how you'll respond when that moment arrives. Behind her, a slide displayed Wellington Industries' transformation metrics. 78% improvement in employee satisfaction, 156% increase in diversity hiring, 34% growth in market capitalization. These weren't just numbers. They represented real-life stories of people whose dignity had been restored. Bradford Wellington, now Director of Community Outreach, sat in the audience. His rehabilitation had become a blueprint for executive accountability programs across corporate America. His trust fund remained frozen by choice. He'd requested the money be redirected to employee development programs. Privilege without purpose is just waste, he'd written in his memoir, Learning to Serve. The book's proceeds funded scholarships for service workers pursuing higher education. The touching stories continued emerging daily. Maria Santos had been promoted to facilities manager after completing her MBA through the Wellington Scholarship Program. David Kim now led the company's bias training initiatives. Keisha Williams's Hidden Leadership Program had identified 47 exceptional employees in service positions, with 31 receiving promotions and advanced training opportunities. These Black stories of resilience and transformation inspired similar programs at companies nationwide. The Meridian hotel chain had become the hospitality industry's gold standard for employee treatment. Marcus Rivera's ethical security protocols were adopted by hotel chains across 3 continents. Wellington Industries' stock reached an all-time high, proving that conscious capitalism wasn't just morally right, it was financially smart. But the most powerful change was cultural. #dignity. At Work had evolved beyond a company hashtag into a national movement. Employees across industries shared their own stories of workplace transformation, accountability, and respect. The viral nature of Bradford's original Cruelty had sparked an equally viral response of corporate responsibility. True power isn't about putting others down, Zara concluded her UN presentation. It's about lifting entire systems up. When we choose accountability over arrogance, everyone wins. The standing ovation lasted 4 minutes. That evening, Zara reflected on the journey from hotel lobby to international stage. The woman who had stood silently while being humiliated had transformed not just one company, but an entire approach to corporate leadership. Her story had become part of a larger narrative, one that proved dignity always defeats discrimination, and character always conquers cruelty. The real-life stories of transformation continued inspiring others to document injustice, demand accountability, and create systemic change. Because every person has the power to change not just their own story, but the entire system around them. Bradford's moment of cruelty had lasted 47 minutes. Zara's moment of justice was still growing. Your story matters too. Have you witnessed workplace injustice that needs to be documented? Share your experience in the comments below. Your voice could be the catalyst for someone else's transformation. These life stories remind us that real change happens when ordinary people refuse to accept extraordinary cruelty as normal. Hit that subscribe button for more Black Voices Speak content, where resilience meets revolution, dignity defeats discrimination, and every story has the power to change the world. Share this video with someone who needs to see that accountability is possible, transformation is real, and justice eventually wins. Because sometimes the person you underestimate holds the power to change everything. What would you do in Zara's position? How would you document injustice? What systems need changing in your workplace or community? Tell us your story. We're listening.